your party or power, you have a president. Now MP said me, sorry, I public. Say, yang, we against what our government is doing. We want somebody out or somebody in. And say, being see so far within our fourth republic. So we pray, say, people with that bold, right, going forward to be able to make sure, say, it is the nation first and not your party or your personality that you look for, but the nation. Until we build the country now, building a year, I think opposition should also come across and support when things of like that happens. But you shouldn't make it as though may MPP so when I made there may this whatever happens, I'm going to condemn that. Let me say that is the lesson I'm learning from this. But the flip side of the same coin is Nana, that tells you that Nanado is also not doing well at all. For you to be a leader, that tells you have so much on our hands, and it tells you say affecting, I mean the very core of the leadership, and for that matter, for your own lieutenant to rise against you, go to the public and make such complaints, tells us say Nanado Abamuno MC and Koni Ye.
My main call Kweku Mwefe dear Akoso Ghana government more with the year MPP 480 upper upset say Nanado and you can operata and then the close ally or more and supportive party in come 2023. Are you surprised? Do you think say it was influenced by what is happening in the conservative in the UK and not say ye bibia Ghana for na kasa for say or more kasa epe?
Well, say well kind way adibia ensida na ensida ne siye me de meti sade no bibia ite sade say de me apani e kan ha say onu de no odwini say mamu na enye no ahwehwe mu ne sesi me de sa na me hwehwe me bisa mo say din ne betimi amapa masade me tumi kra no MPs na kasa kra me vi say omo anye omo adwuma yi omo ahwehwe mu yi because onipa omo de asudi bono no enye ko papa na kasa zo mu difiri kra ebisa ye hwe Ghana constitution menu asamo he dem biso betima bia man article 83 no a tre die Bank of Ghana ayino panino eye Bank of Ghana de also no ni nyuma aseso ye na de ekoso sesia no ne ho anegina Bank of Ghana head of Bank of Ghana the ekoso nyina no article ne man ho kwan ya wo mfa so ne dwumadi aseso di ne ho na se ne ma we nyina sika ekosoro ne ne ma nyina ne ho ne fi enti mi mu de se de wa kan bia Ghana MPC na hunu se brochirefo bi ye bi no mo so esua bi na ka tumi ne na ka mo ahyemra etumra de na ka se so mo hwehwe mu hunu se o man ni mbra mu no se o man bi susika wo ye man mu ehwiri kosuru senya esehwiri ni me ma kosuru senya wan pa na ka se se de aso de bon omo MPfo no a omo na hyemra tumra no ka se omo na hwehwe sa de na so omo de kobo president so se onkoyi finance minister free wa ewo bra ya di o man ni mbra so constitution ni dia show bi nsa asa se wo no ana kire se de krom ho sika ho sika be ba ho regulate ni bibia ne sa na ema no ebe ye adwuma no ne se o ma hwe ne sa mi ni nanya yi but say de ye kan mi de man ye me de ne se obi kan say it could only happen in NPP party ana omo be sori atia say de agru ha de nipa dudu nyina e kan de constituents e kan say intino so obi a e kan say dia yes so yen kona ye ni omampani no ko ba no man kaze ebi on betwe pia omo say yes a omampani ade bia omo de beba parliament omo support no etinu yese bia because omo kazo mo ko tweti omampani de ane yese no omo no mo to ati omo ebi say the same MPP no na emu no omo say omampani ezusuye bia o de beba parliament no nya de a on be support ante so be yes a de na mo to me no me mo de me feel say omo this no maji ye ade a efe say bo say omuso betima ka say na koso dia omamfo nyina because de me hunu no na where is the MP for nankasa no de omo ye de krofo eka no omuso at a woman NPC, almost would be in my name, Oma, you can one cat say, Sasu di we pa one because Constitution number Bank of Ghana penny who can say no necessarily regulate Sika Ibo man, Sika who bomb said the scanning, yes, said the way a constitution in Ama or no. I didn't know the finance minister. Media may make question about the yeah, dear. Me face said the market, me face MPC no, Oman, no way.
I'm sorry, Ima person
Because
yeah.
Mr. Nunu, the year still say it is our mess. Let's not wait for the next 4 years to determine who inherits the mess. Let's get to work now. Let me say, Nana, the fact is, Oshe the year Koswa, open yes, and the year one mess thing I say, we get Koswa opening. Nana, finance minister, why say you're finance minister? All to do with finance. The central bank only deals with monetary systems. That's all. On your feed, near car, nina, finance and a control. You're calling the Bank of Ghana. Yes, I agree when it comes to monetary policies. That is the result of your friend is saying the governor of Bank of Ghana. But the question ask yourself is who appointed the governor of Bank of Ghana? It is the president. Who appointed the minister is the president. Therefore, someone ya odwuma year ya de ya enti ne ka chen say enkasa agrofo no omon kopa bi nkote because the Bank of Ghana is an ministry of finance and that is why they come into the top because the man was so to president no the president said no me ko na nko yi therefore the finance minister no is the problem you fa don koto na akwa na busu ani enti wo ya ontumi nye ho hwe and that is what we are suffering. Well, let's look at the UK. With the change of chancellor from one to another, happened, and then mention and said the points about 116. 103, no? See about up to 116. So that is how leadership is about. Is the confidence we'll have in whoever is the leader. This is the leader therefore, as a president, some system near no beer at least. Market more confidence on him. Now my system but I'm not a yin. Therefore, I disagree with Kweku on the fact that Bank of Ghana governor. No, or no, or she way I say is
still. Master American went in where your constitution at the Bank of Ghana. A constitution and yet of president in a amount. Or mining rain now, my own quite to master so you would you manage to any. I know now, I'm a pound, Ecosro, I'm a foreign money, Ecosro, who do you know? It didn't go, Master American, I'm talking about constitution and not about a president instruction. And I say,
now, but Mammy, hold on. My main cause so run out this week. I'm just going to ask you the same question again. Say, AMPP government, which is the current government at the moment. I'm saying the current government, and as a political party only do from her. Oman called for to about some resign because they wanted the prime minister to step down. And you who say CCR no Ghana for no, they are not asking the president to step down, but almost wait here. Propose say a finance minister and step it down. Do you think say is reactor? Two, that's one. The second, that means that copycat. And secondly, do you think that the changing the finance minister and his ally, would it going to have any impact in the economic stability of Ghana now? Bearing in mind what is happening in Ghana at the moment.
Well, I mean, the argument is being made are both valid from every angle. It depends on how you actually look at it. In the issue that you mentioned, say whether it's a copycat, but you could clearly see, say when the change of ministerial changes or Secretary of State changes in the UK, prime ministerial changes in the UK, that definitely blew some sort of wind towards the political landscape in Ghana as well. And the debate that you could hear people saying on social media and mainstream media were as to whether what is happening in the West could be something that we could model in our democracy as well. So there is some small element of that definitely will feed into perhaps maybe the parliamentarians in the way they also perceive and the fact that they actually came out to make those sort of but I don't think say it is only that they can Foriata issue is something that has been coming for a very, very long time. Within the New Patriotic Party themselves, there are a lot of people that are very resentful about the way he's actually taking the party in themselves. So within the New Patriotic Party, it hasn't actually come up front, but it's been something that has been breeding for a very, very long time. There are people in the party that don't think he has been doing a very good job. So I wasn't very surprised at all when actually this became more of a parliamentary push that they think it's about time for him to leave now. You asked the question whether I actually think it is about time that for him to leave. I think from the way things are going and the fact that people have lost confidence in him as a finance minister, it will make a lot of political sense for the president to actually ask him, if he doesn't go, for the president to actually remove him from office and replace it with. So because sometimes the way politics where you have to sometimes go with what the feeling is in terms of, because politics about you want to win an election. It's about the numbers. And the numbers suggest that within your own party, and if it's within your own party, 80 parliamentarians has come out to say they don't think he's doing a good job now. It translates into what the electorates actually will be saying, very much so. So the president will be very, very foolish for him to ignore all of this and ask and allow Kenneth Foriata to continue being the because people have lost faith in him, even within his own party. They've lost faith in him. Say he has the ability for him to transform things, to make those changes. The president will have to. He has no choice again than to let the finance minister go, because Nana, even the IMF negotiation that has been ongoing, people have been making these commentaries. The IMF does not even have confidence in him as a finance minister, and he looks down. I mean, if you look back on some of the policy, and Mr. Ashley mentioned here, because physical issues is very much to do with government. Monetary is to do with the Bank of Ghana, and the physical policies that he projected hasn't actually worked. You can't blame him for all the troubles that we're facing. You can never blame him for all of it. But I would say when your physical policies hasn't actually worked now, and of course you have those environmental factors like COVID that came in, the war and all of that now, people will still not forgive you because they won't look at it and say because of war. They're only going to look at it and say, did your policy actually even give us a very solid foundation for us to move from where we are into something very much more important? So he has lost those sort of the debate right now has moved on from him. So it is actually right that he needs to step back. I mean, step out of power. He's a parliamentarian, isn't he?
Yes, yeah.
So he can still be in parliament and be contributing in a very different way for the political party. But I think the president now, from the point where he is now, he's better. I know he's not standing for election next year. I mean, that's 2 years. He's not going to be there again. But if you want your political party to have any chance of being able to compete at the level that they expect them to win an election, they would be very, very unwise for him to allow this man to be the finance minister again, because he's lost all credibility as a finance minister, even within his own party, let alone the people that don't even like him in the first place.
Hey, Sheffield, do you agree to this? I would like to know your thought. Do you think, sir, what is happening within the MPP government and as a parliamentarians, 80 of them, do you agree with them? Do you not agree with them? I would like to know your thoughts. Why don't you agree with them, or why do you disagree with them? And I said, I didn't now full said you're more adipana. Now, in your own ways, do you think that this was influenced by what is actually happening in the United Kingdom now? Say if that is the case, and to say UK for a year conservative for where would we be as a country in terms of what is happening in our political realm? And yet MPP for what could have been the alternative? Maybe an our idea be obey to me and from 0208 144 8773 0208 144 8773. My mentor one. My main call, gentlemen, any of you can and pick up on this story. I know, sir, this is what within the house, and I said the home of MPP, this is what is happening. What has been a very interesting dynamic dynamism of this whole thing, no saga, no is from last week. Who says some prominent media personalities Ediomu anu ababetum obi ti say Nanahemaa anamoa on the or throw an article directly to Ken Ofori-Atta say on resigning and no hear some of the ways now we used to know to 2 man he said that man is not fit for purpose and you know this week he Vim lady is also about in Vim lady say and also from Adom another influential journalist, and also about like I say, even the way that the dollar is going in Ghana. This year, say dollar number 15. Now the say the dollar was not doing well. The dollar was not even 15 Ghana, even under the incompetence NDC. And see, all these people, we don't know their political affiliations. But do you think that this, no? Sa idea within the media, any MPP within the inside of the MPP no, could have a negative impact at what come 2023 a year and MPP or more the way they will move forward. But in fact, we instantly war so.
None of us will be saying it. It's the American politics. It go with numbers. And now media to play the major role. How to convince people. Well, when I can be sometimes you'll be Casas away. If you are the mechanic, you'll be hard. The mechanic will be throwing him a metro because say beside I say can for that. Oh, yeah, dear. Then Mr. say, how was he doing before the COVID? How was the country economical, worse before the COVID? The economic was our economy was growing. Now Munina comes. It was before the COVID. And if you were by and I wait in Ababum, that's a Ubizu Case exchange rate there. And only as a movie and Mr. Ayesu Khan, Nanka, me person me, it to it so Case, ye mess, you're starting it now, as I say, many. And I they say, Opa, Yama Bawi film say, you fit the way to control exchange rate. You be Piara, I will be better. It will keep growing. Your upa yepa baby amra. Say a sense of how we change as Sikao Nagana Maya ya team ya the Dallas in a high dying. Yes, and allow all those things to go on. We cannot. It doesn't matter who is there. They mean control Sikano stability. They wouldn't. Well, Antino, me feel say Ghana as of mine. At the end bad, they do no canoe and idea. Na yengira pushing no near the eco. Sabi, if you are the Ekan, the American de Bias charge ya, Nanakufuado, at the ball, Mahama, and no one and nay, yengira de ball no way. And you know, yang as a Ghana for us of mine, saying as a sea when he says, charge. The baby say, Omo Fasadiano Nada, the Biaweba was say, and I exchange rate in one money coso, no Suba, and also did the same charge in a boy, where Suba no the other boy. It didn't see who now so. You make what kind of say yes. Say the nipa eka, the nipa netimia kasa, say propaganda, say no cry, say a day, a nipa netimia kasa, even within the MPP hierarchy, Nakasakran. It may not see infected. So, man, you will be here. It will go against them.
So, what will be your advice?
My advice is a Ghana for us be the voters. As I see him, what is the problem? Because charge ya the bo abayian. For the whole 4 recent presidents are banned. Yet the same charge in the bomb, they be at home. Anna Aqua say the same people no answer the same group no answer the 2 way, no way up ban on the cruise. Abayan and Nakufado ban was Ghana, one person over the year. Pers over the year or no buy any office in the minister. Every door chain there or no, I was say or no person who didn't do really. They say or no Susuni combo bar. At the tree. And you know, the same principles, the same things, and to we the voters. And as I say, when you say no, Ebia, corrupt to need to be a bit away, dear, no saying a war man, or by any saying a bit of boy and saying a way. Now, exchange rate, no money, it need to be approached differently. Because I said an American Constitution, I'm my Bank of Ghana, and so one say the exchange rate. said the bear said the Bibia bear said it, and so bar or no, then bank on the zoo. And so no pay the payout again.
But the question is, the Bank of Ghana now, or you're in charge of it, no, is he allowed to perform the role?
Constitution normally right. So on the Constitution article.
I know that's what the Constitution says, but in practice,
the Bank of Ghana only deal with monetary.
Monetary, no, they say, to almost me the Brabba say, but Obi can mammy or no, they bet me the Brabba say, a big cry, Ghana, no, Dallas crown, only this bank, and I bet with their purpose. Any foreign money, only this, let's say the South African money, South Africa, Kenya, you cannot use foreign money outside. Who did you go take money? Because we are promoting now, we now convert to me and spread the interest can account it's easy for free. And it is working there.
I mean, you're sorry,
I was in Turkey.
Yeah.
$30 from America.
Well,
right?
You know,
anything you buy,
when Americans say
they just convert the lira into dollars.
Because what it is that Turkey has got the factories, everything now.
Yes.
JB, they are taking cranium.
Good.
What you say? It is a cobase. It's a some maybe some is a deal who pay so. It is America for us over the mic. Sikai, almost the moon America. Some the cat 3 trillion. Why in America for dog? It's a pretty was over the cat. Why not?
Yeah, but that's Anna finance age, man.
See, as so done, I can say the car will be car.
Yes, because
they didn't
okay. But where I do agree with you, and say the issue of making sure so you control the usage of the dollar in the economy. I do share your view. Say it is something that it has to be checked in a way where it has to be regulated. Yes. That you don't have an economy which is predominantly being the dollar is being used, because that puts a lot of pressure on the. But you see where I disagree with you, on the issue of the Bank of Ghana, because the Bank of Ghana, there is a limit to what the powers that they have and what they can do in terms of controlling the economy. And Mr. Ashley mentioned issues got monetary matters, inflation, interest rates. Exchange rates and those I don't know. So if, for example, we know say where I do agree with you is the issue of the dollar. No, say at what point can you be permitted? I agree, but I don't make can say where I do agree with you in terms of the regulatory aspect of that. Can the Bank of Ghana be giving a lot of this thing is the independence of how much the Bank of Ghana actually has those sort of independence. Because the Bank of England is very, very independent from the government. So when the Bank of England is trying to tap it into the economy by making sure that the things work now, whatever it is that they bring, it's not because they're being pushed by a government to make those sort of decisions. Yeah, then they're slightly different. Yeah.
Government not always chooses the
leaders. Yeah.
Well, exactly. But again, it's not. Again, it's not only about even the choice of the leader of the Bank of Ghana, but it's as to whether that independence that they need to be able to do those sort of regulations. Because the government influences of the decisions the Bank of Ghana will do, is being controlled. A lot of times being controlled by the government in terms of those monetary policies that you expect, say, taking that leadership. Yeah, but the Constitution gives the president the power to get to the electoral commissioner, appoint the electoral commissioner. Is the electoral commissioner very independent that they can take a decision? No. You see, so the problem that we have in I do agree with you. But you also know, we have a system where that independence, there is a limit to the sort of independence that you have. And it's a problem. It's a problem. But I agree with you, Kweku. I agree with you, sir. And I don't know what policy can regulate that. Say, Ukwako to be because many will be and the same problem that you mentioned. It's a mommy. And they basically quote me in pounds. because on person on himself, you know, exactly, and they quote me in pounds, and of course, I mean, I say everybody they met me here and all of that, but it is happening within Ghana, and people are going to places then they're being quoted in the, and therefore, you know, all of that put a lot of pressure. But I don't think that is the main issue. And I think the biggest problem with the pressure on the dollars, is not really about the dollarization of the economy, but it's rather the fact that you mentioned, say, the manufacturing base of our country is in someone else's hands, and we are doing a lot of importation. And everybody, the demand of the dollar, you know, and that is a fundamental problem that we have. So if those dynamics doesn't change now, and you are right, you can have a lot of government changes, and you're still gonna have these sort of pressures coming through. But again, you still need a government that can be able to deal with these sort of things. And unfortunately, sometimes we don't have.
And you know, Sisiana, it's Ghana. No, how are we going to solve Ghana problem? Because right now, what is going on in Ghana, it is difficult. I've seen there's so much I've heard on social media. Now, even him say you call a year can over at us. And you know, a year bound so a bit of a fan. And dear number 5 vice president we right. I'll say step down, Mr. Vice President. A chief Binding this assembly, also the deputy national organizer of the National Democratic Congress. Hamilton and Nixon Binding, aka Chief Binding, has called on Dr. Bawumia and to step down as vice president. He said the vice president has to resign because he has failed in his duties after giving Ghanaians false hope of being the economic messiah. Chief Binding said that under the watch of Dr. Bawumia as head of Ghana's economy management team, the government has borrowed so much that has achieved nothing substantial. 3news.com reported. He added that the vice president and the government have failed to take the responsibility of the hardship Ghanaians are going through and are blaming external factors such as COVID-19 pandemic and Russian and Ukraine war. If you look at the neighboring countries, they are doing better than us. Togo, Benin, those people also went through COVID. The money we received, I am not sure they received the same. Ghana is suffering as a result of bad management, excessive borrowing from nothing to show. Our focus is on vice president. He gave us the assurance that he is the economic messiah. Today, look at the rate of dollar. People can't afford 3 square meals. When the moment for and started a year, Mr. Emmanuel Ashley, so a be more second of for on a finance minister, Bibi Kitano, from the NDC quarters, yes, say Bawumia and Co. Because on never promising Ghana, and we all knew how Bawumia in the economics was very, very good. We can't doubt him during the campaign and what he studied. Do you think, sir, like Sami Eka, your money quite money your nejume ye, and I say a word of mouth? And do you think, say, NDC is using what is happening now, and instead of hitting the finance minister, they want to change the dynamism of it. Send a bay on between political gain and it's more focus on Bawumia.
Politicians are always on the system to make sure at least they will win power. That's all they are there for, because power is their business. Nana, it is also NDC will definitely seize on that to campaign if they can, or seize on it to sort of plan what they will do as, an opposition party. However, the key thing we must know is that barely 6 years, 7 years ago, Bawumia was reading textbooks to Ghanaians. I'll say, if you do propaganda, the exchange will expose you. So are we then right to say, current vice president, who was the campaign manager of the party 6 years ago. Now, no, not propaganda, no, yeah, and no propaganda, no. It's the question we ask ourselves. So, Nana, it makes me feel like probably he was just reading textbooks and didn't know exactly he didn't understand what he was telling us at the time. Because, Nana, seriously, if you look at basic economics and what we are doing now, they are at parity, right? What is happening is also Nimbibia, Mama Enyeshi. Mama and Co took the economy from Kufuor at the rate of about 1.2 or something. By the time you were living in 8 years, so you were at 3 point something, 3.4, 3.8, I guess. And within 6 years, right, you have moved from that 3 cities to 15 cities to the dollar. So that tells me you are not there. And the question, why are people saying, I'm saying this before I can say about me and Enko? I think I am beginning to understand them a little bit because don't forget the dictate of the economic management team, which is headed by Baumia, the economist, Dr. Baumia, the economist, is sort of the advisory body, right, that advise the finance minister. So when the finance minister has got his advisors advising him, he still have to come and consult the economic management team before he can make those policies work. So therefore, if the head of that advisory body, right, has not been able to lead the finance minister.
But if somebody's advising you, that the decision lies on you. The fact that somebody's advice is up to you to take it or not.
Nana, that is the point. But don't forget, the economic management team is a think tank of the entire government economic policies, both monetary and fiscal, right? In this case, when we talk fiscal, we're talking about taxation and stuff like that. And the monetary is the interest rate, no matter you know. So therefore, if you are the head of that management team, the finance minister is under you. Don't forget the president, absence of the president, we have the vice president. So you can dictate. Should the vice president tell you, do this, let's do that, you cannot go against it. Or he will tell the president to fire you as a finance minister. You agree with me? And for that matter, no, Baumia position no, is so sensitive when it comes to economic matters. He combines both the fiscal and the monetary. He's in charge of both, everything. No? So therefore, the NDC for air cancer Baumia should be affected. To some extent. More so, looking at comments he made over the period. I'm not currently a campaign because he is the best economic guru in Ghana, who, when he partners, your friend is saying, Nana, we are going to get the best economic prosperity in Ghana. Obekaya say, Brown Nanado, players a train and them, ordinam and Suasino, not Baumia and Nam through the check. Up to now, the excuse of, say, COVID near the end. Yes, you agree. COVID has been a problem. Nana, inflation, let's be frank with you. We are seeing inflation here in the UK. We saw inflation, we heard of inflation in places around the world. It's not Ghana alone. However, ours is a galloping one. And yet ordinary inflation, right? If I was speaking to somebody just yesterday, near country me say, in Ghana at the moment, you saw now near more price, say, be a 10 cities. That's also me kwaku use car, me kwaku pay car, maybe a cash money, me kwaku use car, assistant maybe to 12 cities. And this is living testimony of people in Ghana. Someone might say it is political, but it isn't. Look at the way the dollar is going, the pound is going on a daily basis. So I'm not surprised. And we export everything to the country, right? So therefore, as I sit, I have some huge amount of investment in treasury bills in Ghana. I've given up. I even don't want to think about it any longer. Because I've given up quietly, personally, because me who says this cano, I'm sure it means a block to top block back. Let alone me cancer baby. Meanwhile, it's an investment life investment I made in Ghana. So these are some of the things we have to look at realistically and not just politicize it. The man is not doing well. The leadership has to actually either they crack the whip or they decide, so me now I'm resign. And that's my position.
My main call something. So now there is a massive attack on the finance from finance minister here within the in-house MPP. Now from the NDC's headquarters, almost so pushes say they don't want the vice president. And why do you think the president is untouchable? And now Kofona one they've been bombarded because remember, Mr. Nuno Asamoah calls it the bar stop with the what? The president. So how come I say yeah crocro na no pian person be can na anymore and I said do you think this a political way since you be him say na de enche bia na yokohuru no concert ase enti ye no. So now let's move to the strong wings now.
Well, there are a lot of dimensions that you can look at it. There's the political angle and the economic arguments. Economics wise, Ashley has already mentioned, is he performing as a vice president on how he expects us to judge him? Because yes, Ashley is right. He came into the scene as an economic guru. Unfortunately, he was pushed aside in terms of his economic argument, I will probably say, because it does look so Safoma for Ken Oforiatta actually took on the sort of economic angle that the new Patriotic Party should take, and Bawumia was left with the digitization of the economy. So if you could see, he mainly championed the digital aspect of what the government policy government plans are. And he rarely actually did much in terms of the economies. But that could be one argument that you could make, say, is one of the, deficiencies of his, leadership as a vice president, because he is a head of economic management team for the government. So I would have expected that he could project some kind of, his weight on those sort of policies, but it didn't happen. So when people call for him to also resign, I can understand where they're coming from, but it is very political as well. The NDC also, obviously, Bawumia has been a thorn in the flesh of NDC for a very, very long time. A lot of the debate that is happening, he is the one that is leading the debate in the new Patriotic Party. If you remember, when they went to the court, Bawumia was the star witness in the court. So he's been a thorn in their flesh for a very long time. So it's a payback time, I would say, in an argument. Say, if you have an opportunity to say to make the argument, say you should resign, yeah, why not? You will make those arguments. So that's very political dimension. But it's not the only person. The president himself, there has been people that are also calling for the president himself to actually resign. It's not as, perhaps the way a finance minister Nidena has been, but people have been calling. But you see, with the president, he has nothing to lose. The president, the only loss that he will probably get is something to do with whether his party is going to come back to power again. The vice president has more to lose because he wants to stand as the president, in the next election. If he manages to win the, candidature for his party, now he will be the one that is basically going to lead the new Patriotic Party into the next election. So can you not see why NDC will want to make a big fuss out of that? Because if he happens, say he gets the nod, then they have to face him in terms of making sure, say, he's not attractive enough to be able to lead, this country. Because 2024 elections, is also going to be a very hard fought election, because a government in power, to win against a government in power is not an easy task. You need to be at the top of your game. You forget about the issue that they were talking about, the rigging and all of that. I mean, that is a different kettle of cake. You will need to make sure, say, the person that you're standing against is rubbish enough. You rubbish him enough to the point where people actually will see through him and see the rot that is in him, and therefore not to be able to vote for him. So I think that is what this is going to be. This is what the NDC is going to do. And kudos to them. I don't see why not, because you are in opposition. You want to come to power. If you want to come to power, you don't sit back and just say, for example, this economic argument that we're making, the president, the former president, Nanahemaa, quite recently had a press conference, spoke about the economy, spoke about the finance minister, the need for him to go. I mean, do you expect the Mahama to just keep quiet? No, you don't expect him to keep quiet. You expect him to be doing the things that he's doing now because he wants to come to power in the next 2 years when there is election, if he stands for his party again. So these things are all very, very political. A lot of them are very political, and a lot of them are very good sound, economic argument to make. I don't think the vice president, I don't hold the vice president responsible for the problem that this economy is facing. I very much hold Ken Ofori-Atta responsible for the problem that this country is facing, because he is the one that took us into borrowing, the bonds that were floated. Most of the policies of the New Patriotic Party, the economic policy of the New Patriotic Party, was spearheaded by the finance minister. He is the one that pushes into where we are now. So if anyone has to resign, it has to be him, and I don't think the vice president has to resign.
And I'm glad you even mentioned the former president, because the utterances are out based on the press conference. A year Papa Ken Ofori-Atta Ken Japan about out. Or 3 reasons Mahama can't call Ofori-Atta to be sacked. Or see, in an interview, he stated that under the tenure of former president, the country initiated move to seek a bailout from the International Monetary Fund. That's 2015. He contended that John Mahama refused to sack his finance minister at the time. That said, President Mahama is not being fair to the finance minister. If he requests that, I will agree, because you have not been in that vehicle before. President Mahama was the vehicle when the so-called Dumso was there. President Mahama was in the vehicle when he took the IMF with his finance minister. Did he ever fire any finance minister? This is the question I ask Ghanaians. Ghanaians can ask for that, and I agree with them 100%. Elsewhere, maybe the finance minister would have resigned himself. Well, it's up to him to decide. And this goes on. So, do you think Ken Ofori-Atta Adia okay? Do you agree with him?
Yeah,
Can Japan asema okay, say Mahama during the time or the you call bailout. Once I can the finance minister, I didn't know this is for a press conference. Say Ken Ofori-Atta yenyenedi. Do you think Ken Japan because he thinks Mahama has been in that vehicle, he's been in that situation. Now, basically, that's what he's trying to say.
Well, maybe this whole thing is that we taking it from a different angle, look at it from a different thing. Certainly can be saying, there's a kind of food you say, I want to say, before all this COVID and Ukraine war, na abino and no man, not almost economics, the next thing, no more. See, you say, I was every year. Yeah, say, I was a dinner, 3 Saturday neighbor, a year. Because then the Nakupuado was so confident, said, no, I know the name of it. You, the attempt, we, my essay. Well, Mephi said the economy, or do you do too much say?
But say no, Kuminim Sana, you have me sure say, that time names a prophet to know
I don't know.
Also, in Sweden for free, the baby, I'm betting.
Which about we, media, they make that time, they know a year. Well, because yes, I dealing in every year with the mental be of a kind say, and if I want to be an home, economy, say, yeah, a year idea, which may Nasemi, you know, free wa, maybe beginner, which is a Miami near body, NDC.
Mama,
Tibani, Miami Yonku Tibani, Tibani is the same on purpose. And to all purpose, you need to abide, and as you can be a tonic. Na said the Union American. The next person and this for as I say, one of them is the vice president. Because only the possible challenger on be a moneno, a pecotraba. And you know, the baby on Becambia, a bay. Nami no free wa, Nasam now kind, no Nami can say. Ghana for to say, Tieni sat is a Tibania by our Candia. Na ye Ghana for as the voters, ye trauma and pay a play with our mind. Because you charge no Obi any ball no begin of a castle or so Baba Sissan obey. na omuntimi ntira wodi mi di sa charge de ko no we su ba ye wantimi ye be ka mo no so be ka se hey mo hwe so no so ntimi ye de ba ye be ni yi na ye ma ye nso ye voters ne be tra mo asan se ni pakro ya ayusu sa de no ade bana yi no nyina everywhere na me ko de mi nua actually can de me because me ko be because ono so ya woni ba bi o na me yi me back de Japan asem o bisa well me de bia me ka say Mahama is not alternative. It's not an option. Say Kase Kufuado nya Mahama is not an option. Anybody can come and try, but Mahama did because at the back of minimum Mahama who and no ba say oba ya obeka de esi aye nyina yini wa maye no solution one can de obey different. The obeka and say mobile say we say we koso say go before practice say what if you talk a diania and what three almost about 5 components? Eki Ghana also want you. Gobey and Yamabe num the womb. What does it? Gary womb, bees womb, Aguguso, Yatiko Gusu, be quiet to Mika and then Gusu. What's in the way?
What's up, radio?
Nadia me can say, dear me pessimist, President Mahama. Who pays was a gun? Yavi and Namunaka. Say so sin na kufu by wa me ni o do aberi dombe be do ba hin na obi tamo wo say aka dombe ni kura no na wutimi nyo man ni yie sa bre chok wutimi nto chok ai de be kire kwara ade ni ye ntimi nto enti no ne ya wi dombe ya wi e die na obey enti Mahama de in fact to me is not an option for God.
Yo, Kweku Radio Bedasi TV time check at the moment is 25 minutes past, so the time now is almost set. I can't have an hour pen. I we munim say a year Juma Subi no muso yasina week in week out your digimedi bro. Ain't menu with fidi and copy beer. I'll be right back.
Casting Advisory is what you need. Are you looking for business solutions that will serve your needs? Look no further, because Casting Advisory is all you need. Casting Advisory is a unique advisory firm that provides specialized solutions in tax and business planning, audit and assurance services, company secretarial services, corporate advisory, corporate training, tax policy advisory, charity registration and accounting, gift aid for churches and charitable organizations. Our understanding and industry experience provides a cutting-edge software solution tailor-made for your firm. Locate Castle Advisory in the UK, Suite 4, the Generator Business Center, 95 Miles Road, Meacham, Surrey, CR4 3FH, or call us in the UK on 020-840-81520 or 078-867-15702, or email us at info@castongroup.com. And in Ghana, locate Caston Advisory Suite 5, the first floor of the Zerka Plaza, Tetegu Junction, Southeast Wager off the Kaswa Highway, or call 0249-700-075. Caston Advisory, the delivery of excellence redefined. Caston Advisory is what you need.
Trinity Driving School, your #1 driving school in the UK.
Did you know that they're equipped with professional driving instructors who will teach you to pass your test with ease?
So, if you want to pass your test, please look no further.
Contact Trinity Driving School on 07507 116997.
Trinity, safe and responsible driving.
Yes, sisi ade Ghana no empenimfo eye MPP akache eho abodwa papa ho se de. Do you think the vice president onkwana, or do you think this actually lies with the finance minister? Samisi on your force a finance minister ono na emfa kwadunu nyina embono Mr. Emmanuel Ashley or say on the NDC for James because a vice president or nuna or yet economic guru na ono na yeji adwin free no. So before second of Oriata or the bibia beba abonten no na just wakosiki advice every a year papa and I say vice president or enti aba or no the only NDC for a adwin. Now kwakusisi and Timemufo we need to listen to Timemufo no MPP. They need to do something. They need to listen to Ghanaians. Now say omentie Ghana for come 2023 election or say I'm sure yeah and your bet me as or say MPP dear or not dear no one who had on your mushibum name near all conscience kufuado on see dear Ghana for air cano now on see Ghana for soon. Moving on, one of the things with economic hardship everybody is looking after themselves and obia esha no sisia man obia pese sebi ni yefunu eye kete na chese ya chi ese bibi de etumi twen yemu srade na de gugu hips unza na se ona mo ade kokumi ho fepeni bi na chese ona mo na chese why kete na esro ho no aye kaka hips won so ay kaka and es koku kan so tumi kan esi so was you do very 20 na now listen no no see oda I be ba no so be ba no two or not you na miensa. Anyway, what's say Food and Drug Board, FDA has called the members of Ghanaian public to desist from purchasing and using some unregistered weight loss products, citing their many side effects. According to FDA, Ascot Diet weight loss products, which are produced by Ascot Diet Clinic, are not only unregistered by the authority, but also come with severe allergic reaction for people who use them. The FDA wished to inform the public that Ascot Diet weight loss products and producers by the Ascot Diet Clinic has not been registered by the authority, and its use could cause severe allergic reaction like itching, hives, shortness of breath, wheezing, swallowing, swelling of the tongue, throat or mouth, stomach cramps, nausea, diarrhea, and fatigue, and your money be or so the authority therefore called on Ghanaian to shun patronizing unregistered product was a further warning imported to ensure that they engage in their business in compliance with the law. As already made the best war a year so because when it gets to a I say and then watching a conya cry about honestly is already a common pa.
No, Mr. Ashley.
Mr. Ashley only if he has say Mr. Ashley.
Mr. Ashley, yeah.
Mr. Ashley. I'm thinking about Mr. Nunu.
Honestly, he said he's a professor was anime.
Oh, Professor Ashley.
Ashley, when I said Mr. Emeritus,
Kwaku, is this a man or yes, products be up by Joshua and Yasem get to a cry?
Me mumu say oka a man o mahofa. Even him say obadi o hiam. Say you be my
now what fen no de any
and no make an to no hu ne ho ba bia o face say so improve. No ko improve a me hu no ho boni bia. If it's a man ko ani nipa omutimi di ntro wa ho fem. I will be anti-minga. We had no week in any day.
Kwaku,
Ningina,
this is a memory cry. This is a memory.
I would the American say, Mad any day, what to make a woman, the owners who I saw, what me. But a mad the you need to answer and come. And you know, can be a fashion or menu bar. But baby, I short to bit my who are wrong. Because why you are happy.
Now, this is FDA.
Now, bar will full so dear. As up and I get the end in some. Who can I hope in a street? No, who do any buff from no who line if a pepper no one say I catch it. There is some literature. I don't feel that you also talk car when you say one sack a kiss in now. One sack a kiss in now, we have a banner, they know you should have a pack car. Okay, we was in your car, as I'm going to make. And to the American say a fruit American, or your bar, were fruit quadi. Odi baby anya we free dey when man mra flat. If you say no dey say we can go straight now bo mu as no hunu line dey pe no hunu say baby edu. And you maybe ya catch it.
Mr. Ashley, Yes, yeah, dear, Samisi wouldn't move guru pa. Since you are come one side of the way on there, I don't focus on or say mano or say what so Jina said, well, won't lie, I mean, like or check. Ain't he said, or the well, line, I just said, maybe quite sure. Now, FDA about out. Now, why do you think, sir, FDA don't they have the authority to take this kind of medicinal and as a drugs from the market? Now, more a pushing now they know that they're educating Ghanaians, Mobia and Kofasa Ascot because according to them, there's something a Ghana for patronize it. The mama a lot of side effects, wheezing, swelling of the tongue and throat, which is can lead to kind of fatal because say o catch man no a bit me block your airway the same as anyoma be not more educated Ghanaians. What will make Ghana for a journey na because if I feel bit to me wo cry no but 2 days and now 1 week will be on I'm shop. You can't just walk cry no wow.
I think I'll say kudos to the FDA for the position they've taken. Nana, yeah, what problem across the country? No, everyone, yeah, mean the consequences. You will cry, to me, I be another Africa, so be true, no tongue. Dana, I remember as a child at the time, near Mapine, I was from school, what I called in Father Village, because some of these spaghetti do trade a bus.
What's up, spaghetti no bus?
Only God knows.
Oh, bus, say the baby out on the eventually.
Bus na me to.
That's bus when I go.
Usually, that's what they do.
That's the rubber.
And the group of it, I read there 200. It's some cancer, you know.
If you are not there.
Mr. Enyago, and the other family is well. If you want to be too awful.
Somebody says I go on.
The point you have to look at is the FDA has the power to license every drug. But the question I don't know yet is whether they still have the power to stop them or they have to report maybe the police service or something else. Right.
They do have the power.
They do confiscate. Remember, we discussed something in the studio. Moko market eco confiscate palm oil, mano. Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Now, if that is the case, then I would say, what I'm seeing now, the information out there, is just sort of
public notice.
And your fee now. So for you to maybe even stop using it, just in case.
Yeah.
Because when they confiscate, because I don't confiscate and come over here and say, why they confiscate here?
But remember, you see, the problem the FDA is facing is it's the circulation of it in their problem. Because and you say about far compare confiscated. So there are different places that are this
more interested in that.
Yeah.
Change complexion. What do you stop on?
I mean, and again, the education is a very sorry. My view.
I think the education is a most powerful tool. But one thing, Nana, say we have to do a lot of education on is your belief in artificial change of the body, especially in our part of the world. Right. The average African doesn't want to be natural.
What is natural?
Natural. So polish it properly.
Yeah.
Right. Take it cool.
Oh, I see.
So just keep it.
Kwaku say is our food so now I won't lie. See, come home for the topic there, but I think that we need to spend time on another time and explore. Also, so your banner would not hop and I say, well, who lie here? I just saw here who be. Do you disagree or agree? Now, the question is, lie Ben Crana or can was them? Where do you see ASM 7? Miss Simon Ashley, to us so.
Realistically, well, maybe if it's a things of this nature, no, we must conscientize the population to appreciate. Nana, look, yes, you'll be saying, oh, back or you're better or better. It's a matter of how do you present yourself. How do you keep yourself? Obi a tum. On sra abreche einda. Enkuto. Na kuma a bright.
Tum say you.
Aha.
Tum braces.
That's right.
What's in President?
Don't you have a mouth?
How many was it?
Sirichi.
Why research what you realistically, if you don't conscientize our population, because Nana, seriously, some of these are ladies back home that because some of this ignorance, right? Or to change their complexion. We are to maintain it. I don't watch the inside you. And then this brings to mind the other side to the men as well. Yeah, a friend is saying, a man can be above the baby. A beer, you say. That's the thing.
Better.
Suppose I say, Ghana, say, a year to pay 50,000.
I don't know. The question Crown
More than
say
the whole world.
Ghana research na
one for dinner to try and put
These are the questions. Ginseng.
Manpower.
Anyagro.
we say more powder be an answer.
Oh,
Philly.
Kwako ya wotre nusu mema chance kwako mema chance ya for when you how to make free advert was na wotre
Awareness.
on a more serious note, so I think the FDA should take this education seriously more than they are even doing now. Say, assemble the air can, because I think if you can get all our products, I'll tell you, I'm in fact, I was Americans. I was raised in a village, so I know the value of some of our herbs. Some are super powerful. I won't lie to you, but if they do better research into them, then license them so that we can put them on the public. Chinese shops there, so that we can properly manage.
But the question maybe someone say you talked about our herbs and we Ghana. Don't you think that the so-called public announcers as their communal do the whole day no we did anopa folklore. Community announcement center. Almost sorry anopa sometime as early as 4 a.m. Before 4 a.m. No. Communication center. That's what they call them. In the villages, now they everywhere in the towns. Yes. Oh yes, it is very. Yeah. No. It's a communication center. Almost the speakers I can see, and all they do all day is to advertise this kind of medicinal. They advertise this kind of medicinal herbal and yamano, and it's being allowed. It's just a feminine of the community. Yes, they call it communication center. Communication and advertising these sort of ain't be preachy. Ain't how much against
the law.
It's actually a noise pollution, but nobody is doing anything about it. Meaning community beer. Meaning community beer or bead in the car crack because on to mean that. And I joke, it's like had any Sufi and and it almost advertising these things and don't you think that communication centers say you're going in
No, as much as the pollution side is there, I think you can use it judiciously, it will be better.
Yeah.
Instead of saying they advertise, now FDA for communication, to educate. I think that would be better. So yes, it is a noise pollution. I don't dispute that. But the point is, you chrome or nipa you can have your time transfer on TV.
You see, your friend information center.
Information center, they can have a specific time or manage a noise.
Oh, and they do it all the time.
Look, the sole authority, well, not the sole authority. I guess the local authority will have some sort of point time where they might like this information center where they need to talk about things that
they do.
I thought it'd be civic education. No, we just said civic education. Civic
education. Yeah.
No, NC and then.
Yeah, National Commission for Civic Education.
Yeah, okay. And so that I thought that authority, will be the one that should be given the sole mandate to have these information centers. Because if you said that's why this is happening, I didn't know it's happening.
You know, when you go
because
to,
you need to. I mean,
no, you know, when you go to a place like even Kumasi High School, right? Kumasi High School, and and there is information center. Ibi ohonoma. Say 3 a.m. To me, dada.
Honestly, I haven't heard this before.
Oh, I've said this here in the studio.
No, but it depends on it's not every community that has this. Then.
No, it's very, very common in Ghana. Yeah.
But they come about.
Who will be that?
It is there.
I know, our villages, yeah, but
this is government one. Sort of. Almost the community.
Yeah.
And they are using that to advertise
intro, everything, preaching, everything. So they get money. It's an advert.
Yeah, but that's very wrong.
And whether you like it or not, you have to listen to it.
You say it's wrong. Yes, I agree. But what they say on the year bar.
I know it's fine. I know it's very common. I know it's fine. I know I don't have a problem with that.
Sammy,
yes.
Sammy Browso, Sisi Aboku says your bar, Nasa Ujana, or Nasa, and Sisi Amashasi sent me here for 7 line there. In him like crop patch ready. Not Sisi FDA, but say, some because I made you feel me moving on to the next topic.
Oh, Ebe.
I would say. I show the same issue.
And there's a program, you know. That's what we are going to do. And I mean, behave you. No, we are your chance. No, can be no meaning to be. And I mean, behave you. That's your choice. Yes.
FD Eddie about say Mbana Sisiano. Right now, everybody is living like healthy life.
Yeah.
And simply a man, most a man, not a man, you know, people look after themselves for their own but mostly no and baby yet because person looking attractive to the opposite sex and now visa. The FDA for Eddie Bay and in relation to the Goku episode on your verdict. What is the best way because way is in Ghana where and no more cancer same way. How could we kind of make sure say Obia away Kurasi? And as every Ghanaian will know this.
Nana, question of what the minimum answer.
Okay, question.
And I'm
Sammy, stay focused.
My focus, we're going to have my name. Sir,
question, Sammy, on to me, yeah, no.
I somehow kind and near any other. I somehow kind of. But only baby, I mean, always we are doing and say, Miss Ashley can say, me say, and a woman okay, say, Obadiah near Emma. Your beauty comes out, and whatever you want to do, as long as it's not harmful to your body, then that's fine. So meaning me, I'm against bleaching inside. I'm against it. But if Upesebia, Tamita, all those things to bring that flatness into your body and get your confidence.
I see the line.
But I mean, me can't say no, me can't say. Now we just have confidence now. Not wow to be general. That's the question we can no say. Ebia, now line. If that's what you want to do, me, I'm all for it. I don't have a problem. I think say it is something that power should belong to a woman to make that decision conscious.
But don't you think it is even though it's your own body, no?
No, if it's not harmful to your body, then there's nothing wrong with it.
But how would you know?
Because science is advanced now. These things are not problematic anymore, like it was in the past, where you can get your body fixed in a way it doesn't really affect you in any way.
But the FDA for cancer,
I know it's totally different. Because I know say no, a drug that the authority that has the mandate to say legal and illegal, no, almost say enye. There is an educational issue. There say OBIT and you almost can say. Then now person offer to slim down and Mommy,
bisa question. So do you think say Obabia and making sure so how be who line na? Me bisa that question.
Now say your man who say me man so. Say me man. Na me man so say we na be away who line no and now be man ni line. No program yeah where this program in Kansas.
Nana, as much as I agree with Sammy on the view of the individual having to make a choice, I'll add something to it. Yes, we agree. Say, the man has a right. I mean, near North Korea. And I can say live life says and I say Iran.
Yeah.
Say be a way. But then you can be happy to consider the national interest.
Oh, what is the national interest?
The national interest. You are in a third world country.
Yeah.
Your third world country. Hospitals are here. And say I'm surely nothing for fast and ready.
Oh, and only they say yeah, couldn't say.
Sammy, now it's not your turn.
Or for the hospital. Sabe be our papa one genuinely Yarepana or ye be on the society by video. So I believe we have to have some sort of the whole country, especially the experts in that area, coming out to help advise on some of these things. Because my point is that yes, we are FDA but I'm looking at generic immunoyeton debris or the
it's a bit so no.
A draw enya for your body you shouldn't take it. Yeah, we've already established
that. But how would you know?
Yeah, but that's why there is FDA. That's why there is FDA.
That you don't know. When I bought some, maybe you say that time I was young. And the point is, almost on that they will make out there. No? It's just saying some restriction.
Now,
you can't buy.
Yeah.
Now,
one more come on in black.
What?
I don't need black market. It's a black market.
So why usually these people get on the buses? And I'm off bus drivers.
And they actually rubber
That's a problem.
Education, no, it's education about more. The drivers
to not even on the bus, yeah, it's true.
I think we have to look at this holistic arrangement.
Especially one more bus.
Yeah.
I have to move stamp will be born. Say no crescent, you could be born.
That's another way.
But me, Mum, the internet.
One some maybe say, I dear bar come so man I didn't say. Ubi said your wild can say, yeah, it's not great. You didn't say, Rudy, be over dear Jenny. They serve it better. What you say? They said, bet there. I dear Nimuka was a researching Mamuki, new side effect that may happen
in the long run.
Yeah.
Well, yes, I are 20 years making only be one. Now, bar now, Dapper. Now, the American said, dear, almost woman I had, they say. Obi na dro ye so be pay license.
Sometimes the bribe is
me wakwala bia.
Yeah.
Oh, akwala no ni nan ndro bia wa kire no kire se ndro no. So the weekend, come on, lines is a mono with me. I check him with the side effect and one the quantity. Oh, you should in your advice. But you have future.
It's another question.
Now, what's your bribe saying?
Send the panel telephone or come on,
Mama, some bayana, I said,
just say, yeah, Baba, yeah, Baba, Fia, Behe, no, the old banner, you money, Lord of Fair, you go who way, I mean, you go who boss,
typical Ghana.
That's right.
It is here, Ghana for yes, and run now, Motutoa Montano, Monya, very careful because Ascot phone run AFD, the about out to say is something which is very harmful. A side effect and MY. But just before we bring the discussion to one end, there's something I would like to touch on which relates to what we just discussed. See, roadside food vendors operating under unhygienic conditions still abound in Accra in spite of the awareness of food hygiene practice. Whilst few try to adhere to basic hygiene rules, many food vendors still prepare and sell cuisines along the stinky, choked gutters and that filthy areas full of flies and insects with careless abundance. The unhygienic practice are mainly found in densely populated urban areas and market centers. Since your FDA the about saying drawing and right now we talking about say in the crumple na montano. So go to na baby apart from is kuka say na kore you see be hwe ofie ne ade ade ye is go to aduane crampo na apart from the wa bonte na hu ye e wo fie no baby say ye ton aduane and once na ne gata bi a choke no. How could we stop this? Mama and shall say what so I mean when the time now so Ethiopia 2 minutes per and the mom
when they watch I won't go town na me pe I know them watch any day and them
now but also your beba so now
minimum who nia o kan okay say you who be mo but watch any day o go to ho na day
watch on the flavor
and I me gba kwe
Mama call Imazo. Charlie, and if you are the keke.
Come and be a crash. Realistically, you couldn't all very, very beautiful kind of food products are in fact, they can be done traditionally. Who is here? You guys is now not playing it. Once we see a crab from Japan, special. But I think the filthiness of the area they prepare the food, we have to sometimes look at it, blame, I'll say, near government, head of government, the local authorities and whatever, for managing some of this cleanliness. Nana, means of a kind, will be a friend tankers. Tankers for tankers. About fear or bathroom by a cop or kitchen will feature right. Making this a villager cement in the
ball and you see.
No. Why can't you reintroduce things like this again? If the government can't, our leaders to me and Fina among challenging say we are charging you to pay for this and we are going to be sure say everywhere is clean. She said, Krumha, what your council or proper council task for the year? No, it means to ball at it. A bank of people magic. Ghana, why can't we do things like this? You zoom line on number, but I don't privatize. Privatize in the sense, make us say a Kumadi and only a government bodies. But private sense that who make me a PhD and not zoom line mefa. It will be able to be here only the a man say I didn't not some ball a bottom or can't say what time they call heaven. You really say as I started to know or say no. And this I think you need some leaders to think through it and find a better way to be able to at least keep our environment clean. But at the end of the day, Nana, when you say I can't, I will groom her. Me, I can't organize a jack. You didn't know kind of different taste.
Different.
And then
different. What women want for?
Nana, uncommon we say and crying. Premier Lodge anymore. Premier Lodge. Seko, Kano and Seko, Yen said, Kana near Kwame
Orion.
The new Orion side. Premier Lodge, the other side.
Who can answer by the time it's
just before the shell.
I shall you know.
Dari for any more. No woman be torn, will be over because I am a true. Your mamma, the only fear crowd to come, a crazy fears and want to make a try, Mamenko. We took come as we had the Abba. Now, when I make up here and Mrs. is now body, we drew up a pepper about some. So that now you are by say, I'm sure that we be did. No, so many do it. Now, I was that. And you may travel now, say me, I'm assuming you in radio.
Say you my bear.
At the old kind.
Ah.
And the arms, the meaning about Billy. Now, me go to a mono now. Just a mono, mammy, no, just around the knee, will really be able to. Get women, they know. I saw when you go, how many? Ah, you really baby, a dear. Calling who was it calling soon? And almost a good idea. Come in here, my sister. You know about all Rosa Melody. And Nana, the old can and yes, and depending more. Yenim
Koku Yabote. Monko.
Yenim said yes, I make I and watching any baby I want a pa. And so no one baby. Ghana. Ah, was many of them wouldn't baby a really free. Opa, Cocorano, this is what Corinsu. Hey, number 3 need the idea now. Nam system free Kumasi, oh, Jajani, who Kumasi for you room. Daddy, who came in every where do you need? No, me found fried rice, but I'm swimming about. So when you baby, meet me now. The papa, you are. Auntie Nanae, Yakama Yati, the whole country. And the other one, the other one got a room in baby and water. So we have my women.
Yo, NCF, yes, Senate Diocosia, the Pitri. Hayani, did you make any Yanabe? Well, come who or say, dear Mahama, they were cutting and I at Jujamaya. I say, Cole Lagoon and whole salad, Quakunya, and whole salad, and one will be was this a when you be out to me. What's a man? Some also say, watching the walk got a one no pay. And since I'm big, but Mr. Ashley, they all say, a piano, the one web. Roma, Nasa, what the guys know, and yet the Ghana no, I didn't see. I say a friend no barbecue watching. Ain't so experience we are joining in our website and so making kind of So thank you for coming and joining us all this time because you've been with us all this time. It's been very, very interesting. You know what shall see we talked about yes Mama in the MPP quarters no almost see the no MPP for no almost is the Topical to one of June who almost is here 80 of us can for yata on any island and uncle. Now for you to see a year and this year catch it almost also says this year the vice president Baumia. Waba ko una also economic guru and so by who vazo one abebo o special obo and so when is one yes in you be no kumenju or no anything ti akoje akere ma ye free one ye call FDA almost is ya mano e mano almost mpese momo ye chengelenge na mo ye fem ye obi si the prof ye very rheumatism. Obviously, I want to sexy. They want to be like the walking style. I know it comes with so many complications and it comes with a lot of commitment. If it goes all the way under the knife, I could you see or babia, you'll be fair. Would you know why? I don't know you have the ones you go ahead and do it. But making sure say who be caught the regulated and on the advice I made no men kono bibia caught na koye a dry regulators and a be emfa who so biama because I asked her to phone run you say man nausea obey me nya swollen lips and throats which can be very very fatal and in your ma be brave. When na a year me Mr. Abaite, or say every drug is FDA approved. It was President President Kufuor's initiative on it by Osan course. Or say FDA is just taking money and approving all sort of drugs. In the FDA one mobile, kwakusine bano wapone waka mu approve man then as is the idea obi idea or the bar now o dey by. Also, kidney diseases are serious on the increase, hence the high rate of young death in Ghana. Also, master, so many fake clinics are coming up and killing innocent people. Yo, I am Mr. Baite Yadawasi Utie all the way from KNUST Kumasi. Yeah, that was the money and we use this opportunity to thank everybody for your time and for listening to us. That's a one to me can be Mamidian and Nanahemaa. Until then, adios. Bye bye.